Today we are going to install the new DRT Motorsports Can-Am X3 Cargo Storage Rack. This rack fits the 2017 Plus Can-Am X3 2 and 4 door models. Install time is about 45 to 60 minutes. Can be installed by yourself with a difficulty level of beginner. You will need this list of tools to complete the installation. So, gather the tools, and let's install. Let's start by pre-assembling the cargo rack itself, so it's ready when we need it. First, pick up the front of the rack, with the DRT logo on it, and set the two side pieces in place, as you see here. Next, set in place the two middle sections, and line up with the mounting holes on the front plate. Make sure that the center pieces are turned outward, for easy access to the hardware. Now, install the supplied 4mm Allen bolts through all three plates, and thread on the 10mm backing nuts. Next, set in place and align the rear plate with the center plates, and install the hardware. You want the cargo rack to be loose, so adjustments can be made at a later time, when installing it on the vehicle. Now, remove the factory rear plastic shroud, using a T30 Torx bit. There are 2 bolts on the bottom, and 3 bolts along the top of the shroud. As you see here, these are the 3 upper bolt locations, but we have the DRT rear bumper tire carrier installed, so these upper bolts are not required. Next, you need to remove these 4 factory bed bolts. Use a T30 Torx bit, and a 10mm wrench on the backing nut, to remove them. Here is the location of the backing nut, along this framework, shown from under the trunk bed. Set this hardware aside, yet close, as you will be reusing the hardware. Again, here is the location of this backing nut. Shown here is this bolt location, from under the trunk bed. And the same, on the other side of the vehicle. Now, if you have a DRT tire carrier, you will need to remove the shock mount bolts. If you do not have a carrier, remove the factory bolts at this time, and set them aside. Next, grab the pre-assembled rack, and fit it into the bed. Make sure the two outside panels slide in under the tire carrier mounts, as you see here. If you don't have the carrier, then align the holes, reinstall the hardware, and tighten them down. Now, install the two back mounting holes with the supplied two 4mm longer Allen bolts, and don't back them at this time. Then, install the factory long bolts you took out earlier, into the center positions, shown here. Next, find the supplied large washers, and slide them onto the center bolts, from bottom side of the bed, and thread on the 10mm backing nuts. Here is where the bolts are located, from under the trunk bed. Now, reinstall these two factory bolts, and thread on the 10mm backing nuts. These two bolts on the underside of the bed, are located above the exhaust shield. Next, go back and tighten down all the cargo rack panel bolts, as you see here. Now, it's time to tighten down the cargo rack, to the bed. Use the T30 Torx bit, and a 10mm wrench, on the backing nut to do that. Start with the two center factory bolts, move to the front two factory bolts, and then, using a 4mm Allen bit, tighten down the supplied outer long bolts. Lastly, tighten down the shock mount bolts, and your cargo storage rack is done and secure. Next, reinstall the factory rear plastic shroud, shown here, and you are ready to ride. Congrats, that completes your DRT Cargo storage rack install. The Cargo Storage Management System is the ultimate way to add storage to your X3. One major complaint for X3 users is the lack of storage options available for the Maverick X3. The DRT Cargo Management System is designed to enable X3 riders to carry more cargo securely by gating the rear bed on the X3 and X3 Max. Until we meet on your next DRT install, be safe out there. If you have any questions during your installation, don't hesitate to contact us via phone or email. We are here to help.